All right, we're starting lesson 14 from chapter 6. So it's dividing decimals by powers of 10. And so I gave you guys the chart one more time so that you know that if the power of 10 is 10 to the first power, which we really wouldn't write, we would just write 10, that's going to give you 10. Okay, if it's 10 squared, that really is 10 times 10, which is 100. 10 cubed is 10 times 10 times 10, which gives us 1,000. 10 to the fourth power is 10 times 10 times 10 times 10, which is 10,000. And you're going to need this chart today. And also when you're taking tests, but you should really know this. So just really try to remember that the exponent coordinates with how many zeros are over here. So if there's 4 as my exponent, that's because there's 4 zeros. So I can imagine if it was 10 to the 5th power, I would have 5 zeros. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's 100,000. Okay. All right. So when you're doing this today, you're going to divide by a power of 10, and you move the decimal point to the left to make the number smaller. Okay. So the left, when we were multiplying, we were going to the right because we were making it bigger. Now we were making it greater. I should say the number less. Okay. And then here we go. We're looking for the zeros in the divisor and moving the decimal point that many spots over to the left. So if we have the problem of 8.3 divided by 100, I'm dividing, so this is going to make a smaller number over here, and there's 2 zeros, so I'm going to write 8.3 over here, but I know if there's 2 zeros, I'm moving 1, 2 spots over, and I'm going to have to add a 0 in here. Okay, so add zeros if necessary. In fact, let's write that down right here. Okay. Now, again, this is one of those where it's just so easy that we're just going over to the left that you're going to try to complicate it a little bit, but let's try not to. Okay, so there's one example. Let me give you another example here. We have 208 divided by 10 squared. Okay, well, I know that 10 squared is 100, so I can rewrite this problem as 208. Did I just say 200? I don't know if I said 200 or not. 10 squared is 100. Okay, so I'm going to rewrite it like that. I'm going to look and say there's 2 zeros here, so I'm going to move 2 spots over this way. So 1, 2. My number is now 2.08, so 2 800ths. Okay, let's try another one here. We'll do 0.07 divided by 1, just regular 1. Well, there's no zeros, which leads me to believe that I don't need to add any zeros. I don't need to move anything. It's just going to stay exactly the same. All right, let's try one more. We have 32.7, so 37 7/10 divided by 1,000. There's 1, 2, 3 zeros. So I know I'm going to be moving this over 3 times. So I know that I'm not going to have enough zeros here, but that's okay. I can add more. So 1, 2, add one more, 3. So 1, 2, 3. So now I have 327 10,000ths. All right. So let's look we'll do 1 or 2 over here. Actually, we'll just do 1 over here. Let's do number 6. We know from our notes that 10 cubed is 1,000. So I'm going to replace this with 1,000. I'm going to count my zeros. So 1, 2, 3. And now I'm going to move this over. So I'm going to write 6. Actually, I'm going to be moving that decimal point quite a few spots. So I'm going to move it over here. So I'll write 63. My decimal was originally here. So I'll go 1, 2, 3. And I always check my work after and I say, okay, if my decimal is here and I move 1, 2, 3 spots, then that's right. So 0.0063.